The highly anticipated characters of 1.2 have finally been revealed, being Scar and Camellya, Xiangli Yao and Zhezhi. Now, since Changli is the next character to release before the new 1.2 characters, some players will now need to consider either summoning for Changli or skipping for Xiangli Yao and Zhezhi. So I'm gonna run through the potential value the 1.2 characters hold, elements, weapons, synergies, and ultimately, which character would be the most valuable for your account. Please note that most of this is my speculation with bits of info that have a high chance of coming to fruition. Just before we jump right into it, would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel for more WutheringWaves content and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Now, since Xiangli Yao was revealed first between the two, it means he will be the first character to drop in 1.2 right after Changli's banner ends. By his design and the colors used within the drip marketing, it would be fair in assuming he will be an Electro DPS character. I know KuroGames tend to use colors in their drip marketing to throw players off from finding out the elements, but additional drip marketing for Xiangli Yao dropped, and it's a video where you can see electricity bursting out from a cube. Now, either KuroGames really love messing with us and the electricity was shown to completely throw us off, or it just confirms Xiangli Yao is going to be an Electro character. As mentioned, by his design he does look like a DPS character, and his mechanical arm makes me want to believe he would be a Gauntlet character. We haven't received a Gauntlet character since launch, and on top of that we currently don't have a solid Gauntlet main DPS character. So with that in mind, Xiangli Yao would be in direct competition with Calcharo, being our current best Electro main DPS character. Calcharo is one of the best DPS characters in the game, and since he was the best DPS character on launch, many players I imagine would have picked him up as a guaranteed 5-star. So unless you really like Xiangli Yao's design, I wouldn't see the reason in picking him up, as Calcharo is already capable of clearing majority of content in the game. Additionally, the lack of weapon options for characters is quite an issue, but for Gauntlet characters, it is even worse, as the only 5-star Gauntlets in the game is only standard banner, and it's not exactly the greatest weapon too. So you would likely need to go in for Xiangli Yao's weapon if you plan to main him. However, it has been literally mentioned everywhere that there's a good possibility Xiangli Yao will be a free character. Now, if this is the case, firstly, KuroGames is the GOAT. Secondly, I don't think Xiangli Yao would power creep Calcharo then, since he is free, but would still be a strong Electro DPS character. So to reach his max potential, you would just need to pull for his weapon, which shouldn't be too difficult since it's guaranteed. I do need to stress it's not confirmed if he will be a free character, so just take this with a pinch of salt. Now, since Calcharo is a DPS character that requires a bit of skill with switch cancels and preparing for that big damage window, I would expect Xiangli Yao to be more of an easier DPS character to play with whilst allowing you to deal really good damage. In terms of synergies, Yinlin would likely be his best in slot sub DPS, as she will be able to increase his electro damage by 20% and resonance liberation damage bonus by 25%. Xiangli Yao's damage might scale off something specific like basic attack damage bonus or resonant skill damage bonus, but every DPS would benefit with an increase in their liberation damage, so they can deal more damage with their ultimate. So players that have Yinlin would majorly boost Xiangli Yao's overall damage. Of course, when his kit is revealed later on, we'll know exactly all of his abilities, but for now, he doesn't hold that much value since Calcharo already dominates in the Electro main DPS position. The second character dropping 3 weeks after Xiangli Yao would be Zhezhi. Now, I personally like her design more over Xiangli Yao since she has some nice colors in her outfits, and especially with her eyes and hair. Based off design alone, I believe she will be a support character, and as much as I would like to say she will surely be a Havoc character, she could also be a Glacio character, as the blue is just as prominent as the pink within her design. Both Havoc and Glacio are the two elements we haven't received a new 5-star character for since launch, so it would only make sense for her to be one of these elements. It does kinda help that just like Xiangli Yao was mentioned to possibly be a free character by a ton of people, Zhezhi was also mentioned to be a Glacio support character for Jinhsi. Just bear in mind things could really take a 360, but I'm at least confident on Zhezhi being a character for either Glacio or Havoc for sure. In regards to her weapon, support characters usually wield rectifiers, but I could definitely see her using a one-handed sword or a broad blade. She's confirmed to be a painter from the drip marketing, so swinging a giant paintbrush as a sword would be cool to see if Kuro implements it. However, to stick to the norm, I would say she will end up as a rectifier user. Now, since Zhezhi will be our first exclusive 5-star support character, there's literally a ton of potential with her kit, ranging from everything a support is capable of and possibly introducing completely new buffs. I was convinced that we wouldn't see an exclusive 5-star support character for a while since Verina is already a perfect 5-star support, being able to provide a lot for the team while taking up insanely little field time. so it would be kinda difficult to power creep Verina, as Zhezhi would then be completely broken. However, since Tower of Adversity does require us to use 2 teams, it isn't completely off the table for Zhezhi to power creep Verina. So I believe Zhezhi will be the gem of 1.2, since if she is able to power creep Verina, maybe providing higher damage buff multipliers, more healing, or able to deal lots of damage to enemies off field, she is going to be an extremely valuable character for so many players. Also, as I mentioned, Zhezhi might introduce completely new buffs for the team to steer away from directly power creeping Verina. So having both of these broken supports for your account may be ideal. Now hypothetically, if Zhezhi is going to be a Glacier support for Jinhsi, her value seriously skyrockets, as every player with Jinhsi would likely need to pull Zhezhi. So it would be fair to assume she is able to deal coordinated attacks for Jinhsi's gauge to charge quicker, and possibly increase resonant skill damage bonus. If Zhezhi is able to increase resonant skill damage bonus, this would mean she would have great synergy with not only Jinhsi but other characters too, like Danjin that deals a ton of resonant skill attacks. Also Changli, which is a resonant skill damage scaler just like Jinhsi. So Zhezhi might end up being a great support character for Changli too. Now I do want to end on mentioning this. Since Zhezhi is said to be Jinhsi support, it doesn't have to mean she will be a support character, as there's a slight chance she could be a sub DPS character, the same way you would consider Yinlin to be support for Calcharo. So it could really go either way, but she screams support character for me at least. Now should you prioritize Xiangli Yao and Zhezhi over Changli? In my opinion, Changli is the best hybrid DPS character in the game, since she will be a very powerful main DPS character and can play as a sub DPS due to her ultra skill buffing fusion characters, and literally any character that values an increase in resonance liberation damage. So there's just a ton of stuff going for Changli, from amazing attention to detail in her design, silky smooth combat, insane longevity, and being outrageously thick. So she will outlast a lot of characters. Xiangli Yao being an Electro main DPS character that might have great animations and insane attention to detail within his design too, but Calcharo is already an option that many players either already have or can pick up sometime soon through losing a 50-50. So there isn't much value, at least for now, from Xiangli Yao. Also, main DPS characters tend to not last as long as hybrid characters, so between Changli and Xiangli Yao, the character with the most value for your account would definitely be Changli. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Zhezhi is potentially an amazing support for Jinhsi. So if you have Jinhsi, she will have much more value for your account. If you don't have Jinhsi, you may still want to pick her up as your second support character, as I don't believe they would restrict Zhezhi to only support Jinhsi and would likely be a universal support, allowing her to support every character but will specialize in supporting Jinhsi. So when it comes down to it, you will need to ensure you can pick up Zhezhi if you have Jinhsi. I wouldn't recommend pulling for Xiangli Yao, as we already have a powerful Electro DPS character in the game that can clear everything. But if Xiangli Yao is free, that would just make it easier for everyone, as then you'll have the entire 6 weeks of 1.2 to save for Zhezhi. Overall, Zhezhi and Xiangli Yao look great, but personally, Jinhsi and Changli completely stomp in terms of design. Who you should prioritize really comes down to the status of your account. It goes without saying, if you are a Jinhsi main, you should aim to pick up Zhezhi, so Jinhsi can reach her max potential. I would say to still aim to pick up Changli too, since she is extremely valuable for anyone's account. But the ultimate decision on who to pull for is down to you, so just pull for the character you believe is best for your account or the one you like best. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel for more WutheringWaves content, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Also drop a comment on your thoughts on the 1.2 characters and who do you plan on picking up. And yeah, hope to catch you guys later.